This happens every morning. Wouldn't you think that by now they would have everything ready the night before? What are you looking for, dear? Maths, English, social studies, project book? Oh, yes, of course, it's Christian education today. Well, goodbye. Goodbye. At least they'll be in time for the school bus. And here comes the bus. What it means to families in the country to have a school bus, only the country people themselves fully appreciate. There go Sue Price and Jan McDonald, Fred O'Keefe's in the bus, and Pam Thompson, all off together to school. And here are the children at school. This is only one busload. There are hundreds of children who travel to school just as these do. The Warrnambool Technical College is a school which serves a very large area. And there are children from hundreds of homes receiving preparation for their life's work here. What a varied preparation it is. There are, for all, the basic subjects of English, social studies, mathematics, science and art, thus giving a sound general education up to leaving certificate standard. But children are not all gifted in the same way, and particular strengths and interests are given opportunity to develop. Additional optional courses broaden into defined streams of preparation for a student's life's work. Engineering, commerce, chemistry and art will lead on to qualifications for those professions as diplomates. Trade subjects are available for the boys, stenography, needlecraft and food servicing for the girls. Thus, in their school days, students find opportunity of investigating possible careers and of developing the skills necessary to succeed. In the well-equipped libraries, students are encouraged to study for themselves. Classroom work, too, is vital to their success. Teachers guide them in their studies and direct them in their work. The trade and recreational subjects are highly interesting. Students learn to appreciate and to understand the functioning of the internal mechanism of a motor car, or the pleasure of making and caring for things. The science laboratory will open up whole new areas of knowledge to the probing minds of these young people. And competence here will help later towards competence in the fields of engineering and of chemistry. And the school offers to its scholars the opportunity of worship, because unless the minds of these young people are guided into right channels, then all their technical accomplishments will lead them nowhere. So they have their own school service. The chaplain leading them in their worship, assisted by the prefects of the school. The chaplain is primarily a teacher, a regular member of the school staff. He must be accepted in the classroom. He must gain the confidence of the scholars by his competence as a teacher, as well as by his ability to conduct worship. This means, of course, close personal contact, the sort of contact that every teacher aims to make if he is to be something more than a mere instructor. So children at the school get into the way of taking their chaplain for granted. One more member of staff with his own special subject. member of staff, he must take his part in the outdoor activities of the school. What's he looking for here? Secret weapons? A few well-chosen words, and the match begins. And the chaplain is well qualified to umpire a game of football for the boys. During lunch hour, the chaplain yarns with students, building his friendship with them. Sharing their interests, showing that he is interested in their out-of-school activities. And because the school is a co-educational school, he must show himself capable of gaining the confidence of girls and boys. It's here that he's laying the foundations that will enable him to be of real service to these youngsters. This is a co-educational school, and youngsters, whether they know it or not, are growing here toward manhood and womanhood. Every teacher is bound sooner or later to run up against trouble in the class, some kind of trouble. Here's a youngster who's being difficult. What's the matter with this lad? Why must he make himself prominent, even if it is only by being difficult in class? When the chaplain is accepted by his fellow teachers as a member of staff with a special responsibility, then the sort of problem that develops in class will often be shared by the teacher with the chaplain, to the great good of the lad concerned and of the school generally. So a teacher talks to the chaplain and shares with him concern about a boy who quite obviously is in need of some kind of special help. The lad with a chip on his shoulder, the boy who resents being disciplined, is asked to see the chaplain. And chaplains are trained to sense the nature of the problems of growing lads. And because the chaplain is also an ordained minister, sharing the life and the interests of his brother ministers, he feels that he can share this problem with the minister who is perhaps best placed to help this particular boy. So the chaplain and the minister, who surely must know something of this boy's background, talk over what they can do together to help the lad. Most personal problems are family problems, related not to the life of a single individual, but of the whole family situation in which he has been reared. So the chaplain and the minister agree that this problem must be tackled in the home and in the context of family life. So the chaplain's duties take him out and away from the school. Most parents have the interests of their child at heart and are glad to cooperate in the task of helping their child, even if that includes checking up on what their own attitude to their own child has been. This is a nice home. Bob's parents have obviously worked hard. It would be difficult to believe that Bob has been denied what most boys look for: a bit of spending money, and a chance to go to the pictures now and again. It isn't the ordinary sort of neglect that Bob is suffering from. But there is something here that must be discussed with both parents. If Bob is to become an ordinary, uncomplicated member of the school society. Perhaps these people have almost forgotten the name of the church that they stay away from. Well, the chaplain can be the bridge that can bring the family back into touch with church. Well, the chaplain paved the way, now the minister pays a call. How well does he know these people? Perhaps they haven't been at church as often as they should, but he hasn't come to talk about that. There's something wrong about the relationship between parents and child in this home. And his visit is intended to help this family to see this. His task is to set them talking about the boy and the way in which they see their responsibilities toward him. Perhaps as a result of the contact achieved through the school chaplain, this minister's coat will be found on that peg a little more frequently than in the past. This minister has not come into the home in an aggressive spirit. If he'd come just to dress them down, then he would have got nowhere with them. But he has come to share with them the experience of his own home and family life. To remind them that it is necessary not merely to provide a well-built house, good food, and a good bed, but to let a lad also have part of his parents' life, part of their time and of their companionship. Well, maybe they've seen the point of all that at last, and will see that the boy isn't allowed in future to feel lonely and unappreciated in his own home. And so the chaplain comes at the end of a day's work to his own home and his own family. Yes, he's a man with family responsibility. The average minister has a congregation behind him to help him to maintain his family and home life. Well, a chaplain is not in that position, nor is he maintained by government grants. Theoretically, he has the whole of the Protestant churches of the district to support him. But what is everyone's duty tends to be nobody's duty. There is, however, a chaplaincy committee, a body of local Christian businessmen committed to the task of seeing that something is done to help maintain the chaplain in this tremendously important work that he's doing for the community. Whether your child goes to the technical college or not hardly comes into the question. There are hundreds of students in the school who need just exactly what the chaplain is trained to do for them. The members of this committee are trying to awaken the conscience not just of the parents of the children at the schools, but of the whole Christian community. And so the chaplain touches the life of the whole Christian community, conducts worship in the churches of the district, makes himself a familiar figure to the people of all denominations, shares with them the true Christian life and Christian responsibilities of the church. In the same manner, the people of all Protestant denominations must learn to share with him in the fullest sense the responsible task that is his. We worship in our churches, our comfortable, well-equipped churches. But worship is not the whole beginning and the end of the Christian life. We have a responsibility to help those whose parents have not been in the habit of bringing them to church, helping them to find just what Christian faith and Christian life can mean. Well, Bob has been brought to church by his parents. Perhaps it wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for that contact with the chaplain. Let's hope that in the future, what has begun in this way will go on to mean something permanent in enrichment for the life of this family. Our task is to help the chaplain in his work, to bring him to the position in which he doesn't have to worry about the maintenance of his family, because he knows that the people who value the things that he stands for are standing solidly behind him and the committee that is supporting him in his task.